At Total Pharmacy Care, we fill your prescriptions and answer any questions about your medications. No distractions and no long lines. Tell your doctor to send your prescriptions to Total Pharmacy Care. Welcome back to another episode of Unwired Appalachia, Season 2, Episode 7. Shout out to Boomer Esiason. I thought that was the move.
You totally got that wrong.
Boomer Esiason.
Carmelo Anthony.
Vick?
Mickey Mantle, the ultimate number 7.
All right.
George Costanza was going to name his kid 7 after Mickey Mantle.
That is,
How can you get bigger than that?
Yeah. My mind didn't even go there. I went straight to the Cincinnati Bengals. I have no idea why.
And I love Boomer, but that's still the wrong answer.
Yeah, I love
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, I love it. No, I'll take Mickey Mantle. Shout out to Mickey Mantle. Anyway, quick thank you to our sponsors, Bruce Walters. Bruce Walters just in updated pricing on all of their new inventory. Go check them out, brucewaltersford.net.
We're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. If you are looking for quality care for loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today. At Cedar Creek, call Jessica Thacker at 432-8243, and at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
All right, before we get into our new weekly segment, Talking Picks, and by the way, stick around. We got a great interview with Dr. Colton Bentley, chiropractor here in Pikeville.
Great information.
Great information. It really is.
Phenomenal.
No kidding. Great information. Chiropractor here in Pikeville. We'll make sure to get all of his information on there. He works with the Shelby Valley football team, treats a ton of sports-related stuff, but also every day like old dudes like me.
And there, besides Colton, there's a bunch of other good chiropractors. You got Brandon Akers. You got a few of those other guys. You got Hackney and you got Adam Akers as well. I mean, some really good. Go if y'all got problems, go see those guys.
Yeah, and stick around and check this interview out because I mean, a lot of information I didn't know. I mean, he was great, Colton Bentley.
Absolutely.
Anyway, before we get into talking picks, let's talk a little bit about Kentucky football. Kentucky's coming off the bye. We're going at home against Arkansas, who is objectively the worst team in the SEC. Now, God bless it. Lynn Bowden's going to play quarterback
At some point, right? Is he going to start?
There's winnable
they're
games.
saying he's playing Sawyer Smith, starting him. So,
Well,
I don't know.
I think Lynn Bowden plays this game, but I hope we don't get him killed. That's my only worry is that we're going to get Lynn Bowden killed because guess what? Georgia, we go to Georgia after this game.
Somebody might die that game.
Somebody might die that game. I say just leave the whole I don't know.
We might have to send Colton Bentley with him.
We're at a point in the season where it's okay to pull out all the stops at this point.
I mean, at some point, you got to get back on track with a win. And however you have to get that win, you've got to do it at this point. I mean,
who cares if it's pretty?
The only thing you don't want to see, though, is you don't want to see Lynn Bowden get hurt and hurt his draft stock because this guy's playing for a future in the NFL.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, as bad as things have been these last 3 games, as terrible as Kentucky has played, there's winnable games still on the schedule, and we could still be on track playing in a bowl game now. Coming off a great season last year, obviously, things are going a little bit sideways, but this is like back to normal. You know what I mean?
6.5 point fiber at home. We can win this one. We win this one. We get back on track. I think we need to run the ball more. Just focus on running that ball and moving the change, and then that way your defense can get a little bit more rest. Because it's hard for the defense when they're on the field.
It's tough, and we've got 7 games left. 6 of these next 7 games, with the exception of the Georgia game, are winnable games. Yeah. We're better than Arkansas. Tennessee's unbelievably bad. We should beat Louisville. UT Martin, you got to think, is a gimme.
I mean, honestly, the 3 losses, I thought we were better than all 3 teams. We might not have played that way. But just look at talent-wise, the Florida loss really messed their heads up. Yeah. And they've still not recovered. So now you got 3 games out of the way. You're coming off the bye week. Just get rid of all that. Move forward.
All we can do is hope for the best. Hopefully Coach Stoops, the coaching staff got him in, got a little reset in, and maybe have a little bit, just maybe something new, some positives. Yeah. 3 losses in a row, bye week couldn't come soon enough.
With all that said, who'd you pick in this game? I took UK.
Oh, of course I'm going to take UK. There's no question, and I'll take UK and UK to cover. I think we win by double digits.
I think I took UK in this one as well.
Arkansas, we're not
I may
lo-
have taken.
This is the
I
worst.
may have taken Arkansas.
This is the worst team in the SEC. Arkansas is the worst
No,
team
you
in the
took
SEC.
Kentucky.
Okay, thank God.
I don't think I'm being super,
No, I mean,
going
that's
out on
realistic.
limb.
That's
Arkansas
realistic.
is the worst team in the SEC.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll take us right into. We'll jump back in, go into these high school picks. We got 3 high school games on the docket that we're picking this week. First game, Floyd Central at Magoffin County.
I took Floyd Central. I mean, and just a little side note while y'all, if y'all can look at yours right here on the page. But Magoffin County's Lovely, I can't remember his first name, Mason
Yeah.
Lovely, 31 tackles last week. He's leading the state in all classes and tackles. 31 tackles in a game,
That's
having a
unbelievable.
phenomenal season. But I still go Floyd Central in this one. I just think Floyd Central wins it.
Yeah, I went Floyd Central on this one too. I think just from what I've seen from both teams and what I've read, Floyd Central seems like the safe pick for me. And right now, where I'm at in the pick standings, I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, I mean, I never love to see when the 2 sports journalists pick against me because I picked Magoffin. Okay, Corey's with me on this one.
Well, and here's the other thing.
I
You
bottomed
two-
out.
You 2 guys are at the
No,
top.
no.
Well, you're
Was.
still compared to me
Okay.
and Josh, y'all still at the top.
All right. Well, I bottomed out last week, but I took Magoffin County in this one. Next game, Lawrence at Pike Central. Pike Central's kind of on a roll right now.
Shout out to Pike Central.
Yeah.
80
For real.
points against Tug Valley. He
That was
covered the
crazy.
game.
Where?
Matt Anderson had a game, people. 383 yards, 6 touchdowns on 20 carries. Get out of here. That is a game and a half.
Yeah.
Hey man,
That's
when
unbelievable.
when these kids were coming at him with like arm tackles and stuff, he was just running through them and mowing people down. Like I think I was telling Corey about this earlier. There was a play. I think there was 7 players that came at him, and I thought for sure he was tackled. But then he comes out in a cloud of dust and goes like 60+ yards for a touchdown.
Here's the other thing about Matt Anderson, a freshman.
Yeah, that's the crazy
most
part. They've got a
impressive.
player.
Get out of here. I
yeah,
mean, that
and he's a
kid-
load right now.
He is a house cat. Like if you need some yardage, give him the ball. He's going to get it.
So
I mean,
you
I
pick.
picked Pike Central.
I got Pike Central. on
Yeah,
this
I
one,
got.
too.
We're all on Pike Central. I picked Pike Central in this one too. I've seen this kid play twice. Pike Central has a legit dude on their hands.
And they're-
freshman.
And their quarterback Tyler
Yeah,
Hunt is
playing good.
not a slouch either. I mean,
Yeah.
he can run the ball, throw the ball. But Matt Anderson won a game. Special shout out to Matt Anderson.
Big game coming up this week at Pike Central, and then the third game, Shelby Valley at Martin County. Another one of the teams that
Martin County's having a surprise year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're 5-1 right now. With that being said, I'm still going to Shelby Valley. I think Shelby Valley, when they're playing well, they're hard to handle, especially in that district in Class 2A. So I go Shelby Valley there.
I just haven't seen anybody really truly shut down Shelby Valley's running game. So I picked Shelby Valley in this one just because I think they're going to be able to manage the clock well. I think they're going to hold the ball a lot longer than Martin County. I just don't see any way Shelby Valley drops this one.
Man, we're all on Shelby Valley. I got Shelby Valley in this game too. And then we'll jump straight into college. Virginia at Miami. Miami is a 1.5 favorite at home versus the Virginia Cavaliers. Kind of a big ACC, not a big ACC showdown. The ACC stinks this
Yeah,
year,
it's
by the
bad.
way. So maybe a big ACC
Neither one of these
showdown.
teams are great, but I went Miami at home. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Virginia beats them, but I went Miami.
That makes 3 of us. I took Miami too. They're at
That
home.
is not
I
the
mean,
same you anymore, though.
It's not the same
well,
you.
but still, it's
Manny
fun to roll.
Diaz, maybe Manny Diaz gets it back. They're
Give
playing
him a
all right
couple years,
defense.
and then it might be.
But I got Miami as well. I like Miami to cover in that game too. And then jumping in, Red River rivalry.
Hey.
Oklahoma at Texas. Oklahoma's 11-point favorites. By the way, Lincoln Riley going to be up for some NFL jobs. Got freaking
2 quarterbacks balling out.
Kyler
Murray
the last
and-
2 first-round
Yeah,
picks, first overall picks, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. Now he's got Jalen Hurt from Bama,
Yeah,
the
the
transfer.
old Bama
He's
quarterback.
got him looking like an NFL prospect, even though we know he's not.
Which
he's
after last
not.
night, Baker Mayfield, people mightn't be
Yeah,
taking a
that's-
step back. So, just saying.
So this game's at Texas.
It's
Oklahoma's,
at Dallas. It's
yeah.
at
Oh,
Dallas.
it's at Dallas.
Yeah.
Stadium.
Oklahoma's 11-point favorite.
I went Oklahoma, but I'm kind of rooting for Texas.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, you gotta want to see Texas do well just for college football's sake. College football, I think, is better when Texas is good. But I took Oklahoma in this one.
Yeah, me too. I took Oklahoma. I actually thought Texas was going to have a really good year preseason this year. We'll see how they end up coming out. I think Oklahoma goes in and just absolutely ragdolls them in this game. Oklahoma's really good.
Really good.
Lincoln Riley, unless they back a Brinks truck up to his house, some NFL team's going to come calling and be looking to get him away from Oklahoma. Then the biggest SEC game of the year so far, Florida at LSU. LSU's 13.5-point favorites against a top 10 Florida team that just beat Auburn.
I'm picking LSU because I hate Florida.
Yeah, I hate Florida.
So
I hate Florida too,
about
but
it.
Florida's defense really, really good.
Really
so far.
good, and the offense has been better after the QB switch. But I hope LSU rolls them up.
I've got LSU in this one. I like Joe Burrow.
Love
I think he's the best quarterback on the field in this game. So
Even more than I like Joe Burrow, I also have LSU. I haven't picked against them yet this year. Coach O, man, they might win a national championship.
You're all in on that team.
I've been all in on LSU.
I hope you put the preseason
since
bets on
week
LSU early. 'cause
Listen, I would take LSU in this game. They're 13.5-point favorites as of today, Tuesday. The game's on Saturday. I'd take LSU to cover if they were 30-point favorites in this
Ooh,
game.
wow.
I think
Wow.
Joe Burrow's throwing darts out
He
there,
is throwing
man.
darts.
They are looking real good.
I mean, he looks like an NFL quarterback.
100%. And Florida hadn't seen an offense. When was the last time LSU had an offense this good? Jamarcus Russell, maybe?
Maybe.
Who,
Just threw go routes.
yeah. And say what you want to about his NFL career. Obviously, he was a bust. He was a baller in
He
college.
was.
He could
Yeah,
ball
I
in
mean,
college. And then next game, USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's an 11-point favorite. Just came off a big blowout win. USC's hit and miss, man. They're capable of playing good football. Going to South Bend, tough place to play.
Hey, Notre Dame always has a schedule. At home, I took Notre Dame. I just don't see USC doing it on the road.
I took USC in this one. So I've always liked the Trojans, man. So I'm gonna root for them about any chance I get. So hopefully they pull one out for me.
Well, I mean, I've made no secret that I'm a closet Notre Dame fan. It's all Rudy related. It has nothing to do with reality. But Notre Dame, I took Notre Dame in this game. I also love them to cover. I think Notre Dame, again, just like with LSU and Florida, I think Notre Dame's going to ragdoll USC. SEC game, we already talked about Arkansas at Kentucky. Then the last game, Big Ten game, Michigan State, who we said last week, good defense, horrible offense.
Horrible.
Historically bad
It
offense.
still holds true. That's why I went Wisconsin.
And by the way, Wisconsin is very good.
Very good.
Very
They
good.
could be in that shot.
Jonathan
Taylor is a
may
ball.
win the
That
Heisman.
team,
Yeah.
that team is. They got a legit
glad
shot
we
to
were on
do
the same
something.
page.
Really good defense too, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I think
And a monster at home.
Yeah.
I mean, they always play at home.
Camp Randall is one of the toughest places to play in the country. You got Wisconsin, I'm assuming.
yeah.
I mean, I got Wisconsin too. It's going to come. The only team that can compete with Ohio State in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Which
And-
I know last week, I'm pretty sure I said nobody can compete with Ohio State. I watched Wisconsin this last week pretty carefully.
And if it's at
Real
Wisconsin,
good.
I don't know where they're playing that game this year, or if they're even playing a regular season. But if it's at Wisconsin, Wisconsin got a legit shot.
Yeah, Wisconsin's a problem with that running game, with that defense. I think they kill Michigan State this weekend. Then we'll move on to the NFL real quick. Washington at Miami.
This is a toughie.
Two teams that are just as bad. Okay, both these teams are terrible.
Yeah.
They're both better than the Bengals.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
It is fair. And Washington's a 3.5-point favorite somehow.
They're both.
And I went Miami. I mean, I just don't like that Washington team. And I might have more respect for Jay Gruden after his meltdown and breakdown.
Yeah.
So it is too funny to me. So I still went Miami because that Jay Gruden stuff's going to fall over their head.
I took Washington. I hope this is the week I get to see Dwayne Haskins, and I hope he balls.
I took Miami in this game too.
Don't trust them.
The
I just
Bengals. By the way, we play both these teams this year.
So he doesn't trust Miami, but how can you trust Washington? They've neither one done anything.
Washington is a dumpster fire of a franchise. Number one. Number
They have a young
two.
quarterback that I want to see ball. So.
Well, Josh Rosen's going to play for Miami.
I don't care
more
about
than
Josh
likely.
Rosen. I gave up on him.
I took Miami in this game, but who knows? Washington's a 3.5-point road favorite.
Mm-hmm.
How Washington? This should be even money
It
on
should
this
be
game. I
straight.
mean, nobody should be a favorite
Coin
in this
toss.
game. Then Philly at Minnesota. Minnesota 3-point favorite at home.
I went Minnesota just because they're at home.
I got Philly in this one.
Yeah, I kind of like Minnesota. I love Minnesota to cover, but I took Philly in this game too. I still don't think they're playing their best football yet. If Minnesota can put it together, that's a really, really good roster.
Mm-hmm.
Really good roster.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
talent everywhere.
But
I
I
think
think
he's not having a good season,
No.
but that's not going to last.
I mean,
No.
like you said, Wes, Philly's a really good team, and I think once they start really hitting their stride, they're going to show that they are a top 3, top 4 team in the NFC. So.
For sure. And if they can keep Carson Wentz upright for an entire season,
Yeah,
he's
that's
shown
the
what
problem.
he can do.
Yeah.
And then New Orleans, who's absolutely balling just out of control with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. Not really missing Drew Brees at all, man. Teddy Bridgewater's a guy that can come in, win you some games. They go to Jacksonville. I don't think our boy's going to play this week. I think he got hurt last week. Jacksonville's 1-point favorites.
I'm thinking he's so tough he's going to play and
Probably,
rally
yeah.
him to a victory. I'm not going against him. This is where the Gardner Minshew just he takes it to another
He's
level.
grit.
His grit.
He's
takes
all
it
grit.
to another level. So I'm going with Gardner Minshew. Even if he's not in the lineup, I like him.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville in this one, too. If I could cover up the rest of my beard, I would do it just to have the mustache.
Well, I wasn't even upset at that. I don't know what I was thinking. I took New Orleans in this game.
Maybe you thought Drew Brees was healthy.
No, I definitely didn't, and I haven't picked against Jacksonville all year.
I don't know.
I thought
And
this
then-
was going to be the week we all three picked Jacksonville.
I thought so too. I don't know what I was thinking, but I got New Orleans in this one. And then real quick, let's just talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, here's the thing. And you know, I know your players want to get out there and they want to win every week. Fair enough. This is for the guys who are looking out for the future of the franchise. Here's what we got to do. We got to get that first pick.
We have to.
Don't rush AJ Green back.
No.
Okay, let's.
Just, at this point, just let him set the season out.
I think maybe you even look, and this hurts
Trade
my
him.
soul.
Trade him.
You look at trading him. I don't love saying that. I love
That
AJ Green,
hurts.
and
I
AJ
mean-
Green's been through it with Andy Dalton. If AJ Green had a guy like Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers, he'd be one of the best of all time if he's not already.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the guys who are looking out for this franchise, we have got to get that number one pick.
Got to. Like, we have to have something in
Well,
our
then-
favor because, I mean, Dalton he's just not getting it done. I know the offensive line's banged up. Okay, I understand.
It's all bad.
But, come on. Some of these throws, some of these decisions.
The Bengals stink. It's all bad. Nothing's good. So here's what you do. You either worry about extending AJ Green or you trade him. You don't try to rush him back.
No.
A guy like Joe Mixon, take it easy on him.
Yeah.
Let's not get him hurt. You go out there and you hate to say you want to tank. We're in a position now where we're already 0-5.
We need to.
We're not. And by the way, the division's terrible.
It's awful. It's
But we
god-awful.
need that first pick. The Bengals need the first pick. Tua. That's the answer. Or that's at least part of the
part
answer.
of the answer.
Go out and get some draft picks for AJ Green.
Yeah, if I was y'all, I'd get rid of all your old veteran assets, that guys that can go be on a team right now and help somebody else compete. Get some draft picks for yourselves, and I would just hope for the best. Hope that management doesn't
This
mess up the draft.
this season's a wash.
Oh, it's-
Mike
it's not.
Brown. That's the guy we need to hear this. For all us Bengals fans, let's make this thing happen, man. Don't rush anybody back. Let's go out. Let's get that number one pick. All right, we're joined now by our special guest this week, Dr. Colton Bentley from Bentley Chiropractic, Shelby Valley High School alum, standout baseball player, played a little football too up there, and native of beef hide, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Very important to this guy.
Yes, very important.
Absolutely. Hey, Colton, just kind of tell everybody, a little bit about your background, what got you into chiropractor, and just some of the, the things that interest you and why you wanted to get into this profession.
All right. So when I was a senior in high school, I got a weightlifting injury, kind of tweaked my neck pretty bad, and then tried to just go on through it. And then football had made it worse. So someone had told me about the chiropractor. I'd never went, but I went, and after the first visit, I'd seen Dr. Adamakers here in town, and after I got adjusted, it just clicked. It was, this is something that athletes have to have, and it looked like I would enjoy doing it. So that was kind of my biggest fear, was finding something that I had to do every day that I didn't like, and I kind of pursued it, and then I really, gravitated to the athletic and the, musculoskeletal portion of it, because I'd always been interested about working out and fitness and the body and sports. But then once I got into it, man, it was so much more, and I loved it even more than I thought I could. I had went down to Spartanburg, South Carolina to go to school.
Where did you go to school in Spartanburg?
Sherman is the chiropractic school.
Cool.
I did my undergraduate here at UPOC, and then I went down in 2015 to South Carolina, and then I decided I wanted to come back home and, give back to the area that helped make me who I am. I've always loved this area, and I love the people here, and, it's a different kind of people, and I just want to come back and help and show them, what all chiropractic can do. 'Cause it's so much more than just neck and back pain.
Yeah, and just kind of talk about, how you got into your practice too. I mean, you kind of hit it. It came in like right at the right time, and really got a break. Just kind of tell people, how you got your practice.
Well, honestly, I just want to thank God for, one, finding something that I love this much, that I know I'm supposed to do. And then for the way the practice came about, I got home and ended up getting acquainted with Dr. Stephen Harrison, who had been established here, like 40 years. Had a very, very great patient base, and his approach to chiropractic was, was very old school, but that's how I kind of am in principle, and we just hit it off, and he really liked my, patient approach and how we kind of jived on a lot of big picture things, and it just worked out. He just got home at the right time, you know.
And you've been working with some of the Shelby Valley athletes. Just talk about how important that is to give back to a program where you came from, the area that you were at, and to be able to work with those kids and see what they're doing and kind of support them and make sure that they're full health and full capacity to play out, because, football takes a beating every game. So I'm sure, you see a lot of just common injuries and stuff that you can kind of help these kids with.
Oh, yeah. So, one, Coach Anthony Hampton, stand-up guy, and he has always been really, really good to me. But after I got back home, him and Tyler Johnson had approached me about seeing some of their players that were a little banged up, and of course I was more than happy to. It's kind of funny watching things come full circle, because that was how I found chiropractic, was football at Shelby Valley, and then now I'm treating some of the players. But treating them for injuries, I definitely try to get them to feel better. I try to take care of the injury, get them where they can play. But I also, at the same time, try to show them that it makes you a better athlete even when you're asymptomatic, even when you have no pain. And that's, I like to tell them, there's no coincidence that Michael Jordan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Tiger Woods, you look at the GOAT of every respective sport, and they all love chiropractic. And it's not just based on, I get banged up, so it makes me feel better. It's, to be at that top level, you have to have a mental acuity that is superior to your competition. Like they said, Michael Jordan, he would race you on the way to practice if he seen you in the highway. Arnold Schwarzenegger would, before fitness or bodybuilding competitions, would get in people's heads and play mind games and stuff, so they couldn't compete as well. These people were mentally, not just physically, but mentally on another level. And that's what chiropractic is really about, because what I do is I don't just move something just because it's hurt. I don't just move something just because it's stuck. I move something because it's what your brain is telling me your body needs.
Right.
Your brain sits in your skull, sends your spinal cord down through your spine. Nerves come out of every single junction. These nerves supply all your muscle, tissue, organs. They supply everything. So whenever you get misalignments that occur, also it will irritate the nervous system. It irritates the brain-body connection. And when that happens, to get kind of deep about it, it actually alters your reality. Our reality is confined through our 5 senses, and those senses are relayed from the body to the brain. And then based on how we perceive those senses and how we perceive our outside environment dictates how we respond or move forward. So you can imagine how, having a miscommunication is very problematic, not just for athletes, but for, everyone across the board. This is why chiropractic helps things.
Well, I would imagine, in sports, even a half-second response times is a difference between maybe a big play and maybe, especially on a football field, maybe that's the difference of getting rid of the ball or holding it and getting sacked. Just kind of talk about some of the things that you see with these kids and some injuries you treat for football. What are some of the common things that you treat? Because I'm sure there's probably things that you see more often than others.
Commonly, you see a lot of groin, hamstring injuries, which you see in the NFL all the time. It's a very nagging type injury. See a lot of low back pain and a lot of neck pain, especially just from, it's being such a contact sport.
Yeah.
And then the guys that you mentioned, with Tom Brady and these ultra high level athletes who we know don't just treat injuries, but they do this stuff as part of like their daily or weekly regimen to try to keep themselves on the field. For like a younger athlete that may be in the area that's looking to pursue football or sports in general, is there something that they can, a routine that they can get in chiropractic wise that maybe could prepare them for the kind of contact that they're going to see on the football field?
Or
just getting into, would you recommend them getting into a chiropractic regimen?
Yeah, that's what it is, really, is you need checked to clear this miscommunication. And anytime that you have that miscommunication, here's the way athletes need to perceive this. When you have that miscommunication, you are automatically less than 100%.
Right.
And to what degree, who knows? But, if I told you could lay on the table and 5 minutes later you're a better athlete and you do nothing but lay there and relax, how many athletes would jump at that opportunity?
Absolutely.
I'll have kids and everyone across the board, but we'll do a finger to nose test where you stand there it's like you're getting checked like for a DUI, and you stand there with your eyes closed, and I will tell you which index finger you go to touch to your nose, and people are really surprised that they have a tough time finding their nose with their eyes closed.
Right.
And that, I'll adjust them, and then after that, they hit their nose pinpoint. That's what makes athleticism is hand-eye coordination, balance, equilibrium, for your body to accurately do what your brain wants it to do. And the more and more you improve that connection, the more you improve your potential, you improve your capability, you improve overall athleticism on a mental and physical level.
Yeah, and I know you don't just treat athletes. We're more of an athletics type of show, but just kind of talk about some of the things that you treat with regular patients and how it helps, everyday people. Because I've been to a chiropractor before.
Yeah.
Dr. Baron Akers, I swear by what he did, and just kind of talk about the things that regular people can get out of this as well, and things that you can help people as well.
Well, see, you have a lot of different philosophies in chiropractic. That's kind of the beauty of it. It can be the beast sometimes too, but it's the beauty of it because we get to practice with whatever intent we want, and I'm really subluxation based. So what a subluxation is like how I described to you all earlier. It's a misalignment that's causing nervous system interference. I can treat people from the time that they pop out of the womb till right before they go in the grave. If you're alive, you need chiropractic.
Yeah.
I treat infants. I treat young kids and adolescents for ADHD and other things. I have kids that will come and see me, because their sinuses, allergies and stuff have been acting up. Your nervous system controls your immune system. Thus, you can see benefits from there. I see a lot of pain-based stuff. People that have kind of let things get too far along that there's a certain level they're always going to deal with a little bit of pain, but chiropractic is the one thing that keeps them going.
Yeah.
I do some instrument adjusting, so anybody that is, fearful about manual adjustments or, if it's like a very, very elderly person, I can get the bone to move and remove that miscommunication without having to thump on them like I would a 18-year-old football player.
Yeah.
Well, I know just between you and I, we're both in that bad back club, man.
absolutely.
And listen, nothing screams old man like being at a party and having to leave because that sciatic nerve's popping off.
Absolutely.
It's just not cool. So, I think everybody can definitely benefit from getting out and seeing a chiropractor and just bringing some education about the practice to people in general, because I think a lot of people are still, obviously there's a lot of people that know about it, but I think in general, not enough people are aware of all the health benefits that are associated with this kind of stuff.
They know about it, but it's at the same time the best kept secret.
Well, and it's always just pain-based, like you said. They don't realize that your nervous system controls everything.
Well, pain, people come for pain, and I like to try to get the point across that I care about your pain.
Right.
I want to know about it. I want to see it go away, of course. But I'm not going to just treat your pain, because pain is just a symptom of an issue.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit there and fight and chase a symptom.
Yeah.
Science and research shows that whenever you're subluxated, pain is one of the last things to arrive. You tend to get, deficiencies in sensory and how you perceive, touch and your kinesthetic awareness and temperature and just so much. But pain is one of the last things to come up. Pain's late to the party. Just because pain ain't there doesn't mean the party ain't going on. And when you start addressing it, guess what the first thing to go away is? Pain.
Yeah.
So a lot of patients will drop off, and this is across the board with chiropractic. They'll drop off when they feel better because, they think, well, I don't need to go, I feel better.
Absolutely.
When in reality, we just got you out of a pain state. There is still deficiencies there. You still have the same exact problem that you had before. You're just quitting the treatment way early. And, a lot of people don't understand, what are you doing for your pain? And I would talk to a lot of patients that will, I am on pain medicine, or the only thing they're having done is, pain medicine.
Right.
Well, pain is your body's check engine light. It's your body's way of saying, hey, something isn't right here. There needs to be a change. There needs to be something addressed because you're compromising the system.
Yeah.
And when you go to a mechanic, do you say, turn my light off or check my engine? And what so many people do is they just say, turn my light off.
Yep.
And
They
then
just want
wonder
the
why
quick fix.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. When in reality, the quick fix, you're going to have to, instead of having 20 quick fixes, it's better to just fix it and then get on a regular regimen. Like I tell my patients, and my kind of rule of thumb, and it's funny because it was the same as Dr. Harrison's. If you have no pain, no symptoms, get checked once a month.
Yeah.
Because just why do you want to walk around and not function as good as you can function?
Well, and as somebody, I'm not saying we're old, but I think we're learning the benefits to, doing some of these things.
Absolutely.
Keep yourself
Absolutely.
feeling as good as you possibly can, because
Mind body has to go together.
Yeah, it's huge. So anyway, thank you again for joining us.
you all
Colton
for
Bentley, chiropractor, coming on to the program, keeping the Shelby Valley football team performing at the highest level this year, and we appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you again for watching another episode of Unwired Appalachia. Be sure to go down, hit that
Hit the
hit
click.
click like and subscribe. Go follow us on all the social medias. Throw us a comment if there's anything you'd like to see us talk this guy into doing. I mean, Randy's all into that. I personally don't want to be into the singing thing anymore. I'd much rather see him do something else. But whatever, we're open to suggestions. So get them in. Be sure to be on the lookout this week for these guys' columns in the Appalachian newspapers. They're out here covering these local sports every week.
Noticeable number 7 that we did not say earlier, Mike Vick.
Yeah, no, we were.
Who said his
Yeah,
name?
we were.
well, then.
He came up before we came
He,
on.
he doesn't outrank Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean it's
No,
tough
yeah,
to
yeah,
outrank
y'all
Mickey
go
Come on,
with
it's Mickey Mantle.
Anyway,
Mantle.
thank you again for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode, and we'll see you next week. Unwired Appalachia.